Welcome to Paris, France and the Paris Airport, otherwise known as the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France. Now this video will provide information about how to go from the airport in Paris to Paris city center using the taxi. This video will provide maps, information, cost, and tips. If you have any questions that I have not answered in this video, please pop them in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Paris, France and the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France. This video will provide information about how to get from the Paris Airport to the Paris City Center using the taxi. Although this video will be talking about the taxi from the airport to city center, I'm just going to give you a little bit more information about the other options. To get from the Charles de Gaulle Airport to the city center of Paris, there are 4 transfer options. Taxi, and that's what this video is going to be about. Private transfer, they are usually from the hotel. Train, which is called the RER, or bus. The fastest way to reach the city center is by taxi. Now, an alternative, cheaper transfer option is taking the regional RER train. This takes about 30 minutes to reach the city and it costs about $11.45. Another popular budget option is the Rossi bus. Tickets cost $16.20, but it has the longest journey time, taking around 60 minutes to reach the city center. Now, how do you get from Charles de Gaulle Airport to city center by taxi? Taking a taxi from Charles de Gaulle Airport to the city center of Paris is definitely the quickest and most convenient transfer option. Taxis are readily available outside of all 3 terminals and it will take you only 45 minutes to reach the city center. Firstly, we're going to talk about how much the taxis cost from the airport to various places in Paris city center. Secondly, we will talk about the locations that you will catch the taxis at the airport. Thirdly, we will talk about certain tips and little insights, provide reasons why taxis are probably the best reason in order to go from the airport in Paris to Paris city center. Here is a slide that outlines the taxi costs from the airport to various places in Paris city center. Now I'm going to circle this section right here. This is the most up-to-date prices we have, and they will probably change in the next couple years, but as of right now, these are the most up-to-date prices. I have circled the €55 price tag there, and that takes you to the right bank. The right bank is anything north of the Seine River, and there's a number of tourist attractions in the right bank. I'm going to circle them right here. We've got the Arc de Triomphe, which is just at the end of the Champs-Élysées. You have the Louvre, which is that pyramid. You also have Notre Dame. I have circled the €62 price tag, which is the left bank, which is south of the Seine River, and is farther away from the Paris airport than the right bank. And I'm going to circle this section right here. That is the Eiffel Tower. That is the main tourist attraction on the left bank of Paris. Next, I have circled the €80 to €95 price tag, and that will get you to the Palace of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is kind of southwest of the Paris city center, and keep in mind that the airport in Paris is in basically the northeast section of Paris. So this might be the farthest trip you would have to take on a cab, and hence the most expensive. Next, I have circled the €75 to €85 price tag, and this is for the other airport in Paris, the Paris Orly Airport. You might be arriving in the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris and have to switch airports. Hence, you would get a cab and it would cost you €75 to €85 to get to the other airport in Paris to catch another flight that's taking you somewhere else. And finally, another important destination in Paris is the Disneyland Paris, looking at €75 to €95. I've circled this little section at the bottom here. We've got flat rate and estimation. The flat rate are the one in the orange, and they are for anything really in the Paris city center. The blue are estimations for the Disneyland Paris, Versailles, Defense, etc. And these are probably a little bit more dependent on traffic. Next, we're going to talk about location of the taxi ranks. Where are the taxis? You're going to get your baggage, and hopefully as quickly as possible you want to get to an exit and you want to get access to a taxi. I've got all the information here depending what terminal you've come in on. Maybe you want to take a screenshot of this, pop it on your phone so that when you do get your luggage, you know exactly where to go depending on what terminal you're coming into in the Paris airport. I'll also say once you get your baggage, within seconds you will see a sign that says taxi, and you will just follow the signs in order to get to the closest taxi stand. Here is a little slide with a little bit of information to guarantee you a safe trip at a fair price. We recommend that you always take an official taxi outside our terminals. Only taxis located in stations located at the gates of the arrival levels are authorized to pick up customers. Here is a map of the Paris airport. There are 3 terminals. I have circled terminal 1 here, and this slide right here gives you the information about what airlines are coming into terminal 1. Here is a slide. I have circled terminal 2. Terminal 2 is huge, and then here is a slide about what airlines are coming into each of terminal 2 stops. And lastly, here is a slide. I have circled terminal 3, and here are the airlines that are coming in to terminal 3. Okay, now this section of the video is going to talk about little tips and insights and reasons why you want to take a taxi from the airport in Paris down into Paris city center. You want to take a taxi because Paris airport taxis are always on tap just outside the baggage claims areas. You don't have to go too far, you don't have to look too hard. They'll be there and they'll be ready for you. Because they charge a flat rate to Paris city center. We talked about that in some of the previous slides, and thus you get to know the exact cost of your ride in advance. Also because even though Paris public transportation is efficient, public airport taxis offer exclusive door-to-door services. If you were to get on the RER train or a bus from the airport, that's not necessarily going to take you to your hotel. It's going to take you to a station then in downtown Paris, and then you're going to have to find still a way to get from that station to your hotel, which might require another metro, another bus, etc. Also because your driver will have put the luggage in the vehicle trunk and you won't have to drag them around during your transfer. Also because in that way your personal items are safe, there's no risk of pickpocketing. Paris has a horrible reputation of pickpockets on public transit. I can talk about that personally, but maybe in another video. Also because it's the most convenient option available. But even more so if traveling with children or arriving after a long and tiring flight, you want ease, you want convenience, you're going to be tired, especially the red eyes that are coming from North America. You're going to take off probably late at night, you're going to be arriving early in the morning in Paris and in Europe with those red eyes. As a result, you're going to be tired, especially if you don't sleep well on the plane. Also, besides being convenient, they are comfortable too. There's no need to be squeezed in any overcrowded buses or trains. I'm going to bring this video to an end here. We're going to get in our taxi and head to downtown Paris. Just want to say if you have any questions, pop them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm going to say au revoir from Paris. As I usually say, ciao for now.